Hello, everybody. I am a little early, but I'm not starting. I had to restart my computer. So if anybody's there, welcome. But I'm restarting my computer, and I wanted to start the live stream so that it wouldn't screw up all the email that I sent out. So we're going to get going in a couple minutes after my computer restarts, and we're going to jump right into this, and we can listen to a little bit of music as I'm restarting my computer. Let me make sure all the volumes are turned down on everything. There we go. All right. Let me get myself a new soda as well. And we will be rolling it right at 7 o'clock. Hope everybody's well. How do you spell? I don't know. What'd I do? Oh, Annie. Sorry. Any questions? There you go. You know, out of everybody, I'm the worst speller in the world. Plus, I can't see in this damn little iPod. Plus, I don't know how to spell. Plus, I can't see on a tiny little ass iPad. So, but we got a couple minutes before we're getting ready to start. But I had to restart the computers because they froze up. So we're going to listen to music until 7 o'clock. Or we can have my wife complain that I'm a lousy speller. We can do that too. All right, it's coming back online. Hopefully it's going to work. Oh, there we go. We're up and working. Okay. We still got 3 minutes. Look, got it up before we're ready to go. Come on. Here we go. And let's get this up and running. Okay. Get the chair. Okay. Yes. Okay, now why isn't this on? Oh, this is friggin' brutal. Why am I getting no signal? All right, it is getting a signal. All right, there we go. All right, what time is it? We got 1 more minute, then we're gonna get going in a minute. So, actually, I think we got 2 minutes before we're gonna get going. By the way, Amy, can't you read? This is the tax class or no? Tax class. Tax class. Tax class. Okay. All right. Another minute. We're going to go. Let's move my iPads over here. Turn the volume down on this. we're going to get rolling. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the Golden Triangle Academy, your school for real estate investors. My name is Vinny. I'm your host. I'm your teacher. And in this class, this is our usually normal Monday night class. I'm live streaming it to a bunch of the meetups as well. So for anybody who's here from the meetups, welcome. And my regular students, welcome. This class is, my wife is on here as well. And she was talking about a tax class. So I just want to clear up what we're talking about. We are talking about tax sales, how a tax sale works in PA. Now, why are we talking about that tonight as our normal Monday night class? But the Phillies played last night, so we pushed class to Tuesday night. Well, as you know, the gurus are coming to town, and one of my students loves the gurus, right? And all the ads on YouTube land are all about tax sales. Get your seat now. And I'm going to show you how tax sales really work in the state of Pennsylvania, okay? So first off is this. There are two laws in the state of Pennsylvania for tax sales. And that's the MCTLA, which is the Municipal Claims and Tax Lien Act. And then there's the RTSL, which is the Real Estate Tax Sale Law. These are the two laws that you follow in Pennsylvania tax sales. Now, in the state of Pennsylvania, when a property goes delinquent, okay, so let's just say you bought a property, you bought a house, and you did not escrow your payments. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. I'm going to give you the quick overview. When you don't make your tax payments, the county and the state can come in and foreclose on your property and sell the property underneath you, okay? So they can sell it. Bye-bye, gone, okay? Now you have a right of redemption, and we're going to get into all of this stuff, how it works in the state of Pennsylvania, all right? So the first thing I want to talk about is a little bit of lingo, language, that if you hear me say, you know what I'm talking about. So the first one I'm going to talk about is what we call escrows. You're going to hear me say the word escrows a lot, okay? Escrows is just another fancy word for taxes and insurance. So when you purchase a home, every time you get a mortgage, you get a loan, when you buy a home, you're going to make a monthly mortgage payment that's called PITI. And that stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now, this insurance could be it's homeowner's insurance, and it could be PMI insurance. And PMI is whenever you don't put at least 20% down, you pay this private mortgage insurance. That's another story for another day. But this is what an escrow is. Escrows are the taxes and insurance on your monthly mortgage payment, okay? The other lingo I want to tell you about is a lien position. And a lien position means who gets paid first when you sell your house or your house gets sold at a sale. So, again, when you purchase a house, this house right here, okay, you go to the bank, and the bank gives you money to buy this said house. You're going to sign paperwork with the bank. You're going to sign a note, right? That's the IOU. Then you're going to sign a mortgage. And this is the bank's security in the property. And this is important because this is going to come up later. So the bank is going to put a lien on the property. Now, you, as the homeowner, own the property. Here's your deed, right? So you physically have your deed in your hand. You own the property. The bank has lent you money through a promissory note. Then they secured it against the property and put a lien on it. Now, the bank is going to be in the first lien position, meaning anytime that you go and sell this house, refinance this house, this bank is going to get paid first. Now, you might hear things called a home equity line of credit or a HELOC. Now, those banks would then go into the second lien position, okay? Meaning that, okay, after the bank gets paid all of their money, if there's any money left over, they would get paid. Then you have other liens against the property, right? You have other liens. Okay, you could have a mechanic's lien against the property. Now, my wife, who's on the chat, she could tell us some of the other liens that might pop up, like child support payments might be a lien on the house, right? You might have what I said, mechanics liens that come up against the house. There's all sorts of liens that can come up on the house, okay? That'll pop up there, all right? So just remember for this, all I want you to understand is a lien and the position that it's in. And the bank who lent the money to buy the house originally is in the first lien position. Okay, the other thing I want you to understand is a tax service fee. Now, when you go to closing, you're gonna pay a fee, okay? Part of your closing costs. And what is that fee? One of the fees is called a tax service fee. And it used to cost $79. And my wife, who owns a mortgage company, she could probably tell us how much it is now. It might be $100, $120, $150, who knows. It used to be $80 in my day, $79. And what was it for? Okay, if you put less than 80, or if you put less than 20% down, or your loan to value was 80%. So if you only put 5%, 10%, 15%, or 19% down on your loan, you must escrow your taxes and insurance in with your monthly mortgage payment. So you put 5% down, you're going to have to pay principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay. Now, if you're the lucky one that puts at least 20% down or more, and you're at 80% loan to value, the loan to the value of the house, you have the option to waive your escrows. Now, what the hell does that mean? It means this. If you don't want to pay your taxes and insurance in with the loan and you have 20% equity, you can decide, hey, I don't want to pay them with my loan. A, it could keep your monthly payment lower. Now, you're still responsible. And here's what I always asked my clients whenever I did this. I'd say, hey, are you a saver or are you a spender? Now, the spenders, hey, you better put it in with your loan, because if you don't, when this tax bill comes around, it's thousands of dollars. You're going to need it to pay it. And if not, we're going to talk about what happens if you don't pay it. Okay, that's what we're talking about tonight. All right? If you are a saver and you're good at saving money, by all means, waive your escrows, which means you're not going to give it to the bank to pay. You're going to pay it on your own. So the tax bill will come around and you get a discount if you pay it early. So if you're a saver, you're going to what we call waive your escrows, and it will not be included in your monthly mortgage payment. Okay? But just remember, if you're a saver, waive them. This way you get the extra money, you get the extra time that you could pay it and get a discount. Like my wife is a saver, that's what she does. Okay? I was a spender, so I would obviously put it in with the loan. Okay? Because time would come around, I wouldn't have the money to save it. So I better put it in with the loan. So depending on who you are, that's who you are. So there's some of the lingo that we're going to talk about tonight. Escrows, which is just another fancy word for taxes and insurance as a group. Lien position, who gets paid first. And let me talk about this tax service fee a little bit more. I almost forgot about this. Okay, now, when you pay this tax service fee, it's for one of two reasons. Number one, the first reason is this. If you're the person that is escrowing and putting your taxes and insurance in the loan, in with the monthly mortgage payment, this $79 is paid to set up your escrow account, because it's totally separate from your mortgage payment, right? You have one company takes care of just the monthly payment, and then another company, because they're paid at different times of the year, right? Your school tax runs July to July or August to August, right? Your county, your borough, and your township, that runs January to January. So the escrow company is going to pay it. So that's what this fee is. They get paid to set this escrow account up. Now, if you're the person that waived your escrows and it doesn't have it in there, well, you're not setting up an escrow account. Why do I got to pay that $70? Okay. Well, now it turns into a monitoring fee. They're going to monitor that you do pay it. And that's very important, because when we talk about this, you're going to understand when I talk about the bank and protecting their lien position, remember this, because it all plays into what we're going to talk about. All right? So Tax service fee, $79. If you set up your escrows, it's to set up your escrows. If you waive your escrows, it's to monitor that you're paying your escrow account. Okay? Now, let's get into what happens if you're now obviously, if you're the person that escrows your taxes and insurance, if you're that person, right, that does that, well, guess what? You're not going to go into a tax foreclosure sale, right? Why? Because your taxes and insurance are getting paid from the bank. So they're not, how are they going to foreclose on you, right? Do a tax foreclosure. The bank is already paying it for you, okay? Now, so I just got to erase the board so I have more room to write. I'm a writer. I write big, right? I write sloppy. I know. I'm a lousy writer. Okay, so now, let's talk about the scenario where the people that are not escrowing their taxes. And also, you could be the person that has had their loan for so long, the house is paid off. Now you own the house free and clear. So that's the people that we're going to talk about, okay? We're going to talk about two types of people, okay, that this falls into, all right, in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, by the way, I am strictly talking about the state of Pennsylvania. State of Pennsylvania, okay, because I know how the state of Pennsylvania works. Now, if it comes to Jersey and all the other states, I don't want to give you any advice. I'm only going to give you advice on PA only, all right? So, now, the two type of people that are going to fall into these sales are who? Okay, they are these people. Number one, they own their house free and clear, which means there is no mortgage, there is no lien, there's no loans against it. The only thing you're responsible for is paying your taxes and your homeowners. That's it. Number two, now, you don't even have to pay homeowners, right? You have to pay your homeowners if you don't want to, but if your house burns down or something happens to it, you're not going to, insurance ain't going to pay because you didn't pay it. But if you own your house free and clear, you always have to pay your taxes. The other people are the people that have waived their escrows, okay? Because remember, the people that have escrowed their tax and insurance, it's getting paid by the lender. So they're not going to fall into this. Okay, so now let's talk what happens. Okay. If you're the person that decides not to pay your taxes for 2 years, okay? So you have not paid them for 2 years. What happens? Okay. It probably is going to go up. Well, not probably. It's going up for a tax sale. Okay? It's going up for a tax sale. Now, the first one, the first sale, okay, now, by the way, they have to send you notice. So you're going to know if your house is going up for a tax sale, okay? It's not just going to come out of the blue. You're going to get notices that they're going to sell your house on you. You need to pay your taxes, okay? So there's like 3 things that they have to do, and I forget all of them, but I know one of them is notify you, right? So they have to notify you that it's coming, okay? They got to send it by certified mail, okay? So if you fall into the category and they're going to sell your property, right? The first time they're going to do it is they're going to do an upset sale. That's what it's called. Number one is an upset sale. And I believe they do it once a year, and the upset sale, I believe, is the second Monday. Somebody wants to look this up and let me know. Second Monday of September. Okay? I think that's when it is. Second Monday of September, like 10 a.m. That's when the first sale goes up. And this is, you haven't paid your taxes in 2 years. They're selling your property to get their money, to get the past due taxes, right? So now it's going to be past due taxes. Past due, all right? So it comes up second Monday of September. The first sale they're going to do is what is called an upset sale. Now, you do not want to buy a property at an upset sale. Why? Because no buying. No buying. Because when you buy it at an upset sale, you're responsible for all the liens that are on this house, all of them. So at the upset, you are responsible for every lien on the house. Now, there are big companies out there that do this every single day, that buy property at an upset sale. Why? Okay, again, big companies. They've got title companies that are constantly pulling the title, knowing every lien that is against that property. They got somebody driving the property to go look at it. And if they can peek in the window, they're going to peek in the window. Okay? They're going to talk to the neighbors. They're going to find out as much of this information as they can. Then you know what else they do? They hire an appraisal company to pull an appraiser to run comps. Now, they can't go inside, obviously, but they do their best to get a value. So now they say, okay, well, we know the value is 200 grand. We can see by pulling the title, there's 150,000 of liens, first lien, second lien, tax liens, right? Municipal liens, water liens, right? Child support, all this stuff. So if we get it for, the 150,000, maybe 160, we could sell it for 200, we can make a couple of dollars, right? After we pay our closing costs, if it's in good shape, right? So there's big companies out there, but are you that big company? Or can you do this? Can you do that kind of work with your job and the limited time that you have to be an investor? Do you have that kind of time to do that type of research, to go buy that type of house, then flip that house? Because you're got to pay, by the way, you got to be, you're paying all these liens. You have to pay the mortgage, because if you don't pay the mortgage, they're foreclosing on that too. So you got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay everything, or you're losing it. So do you have the time to investigate all the houses that are like that? Do you have the money to pay everything, right? No, stay away from the upset sale. It's terrible, okay? So I don't know who would buy anything at an upset sale, right? Unless you're that big company that does this, and this is what they do for a living as a full-time job with staff everywhere, okay? This is not advisable, especially the newbies. Stay away from the upset sales, or you're going to be upset you bought a damn house. Now, I had a guy, he was not a student of mine, but he was sharp. Right? This guy called, I don't know how he got my name and number, but he called me, and we started chatting, and he bought a property at an upset. I said, why would you do that? He goes, oh, dude, I thought I did my homework until a lien popped up, and I pulled title. But it came up anyway, after the fact. He lost his shirt, and this was a sharp dude, right? You can't, trust me, don't do this. You might get lucky and get one. I will never say you can't get lucky. Of course you can. But the chances of you getting lucky, especially if you're a newbie and you're not a serious investor, is slim. Let me tell you, I got 30 years or plus in this business. I wouldn't buy a property in an upset sale. Hell no. So that's number one. Okay, now a lot of property don't get sold at an upset sale. What happens? Okay, what happens next is this. It goes to a judicial sale. Now, this is the one the gurus all talk about. This is what you could do. Let me show you my mastermind class. Seats are going fast. You got to get them. Let me show you how you can change your life buying tax liens, buying tax properties. Okay. The judicial sale, after it falls through the upset sale, because nobody wants to buy it with all the liens against it, you can, when you buy this, and if you get lucky to buy this, you are going to get this property free and clear of all liens. Okay? So there you go. That's what the gurus talk about. You can get it, if you buy the property at the judicial sale, you can get it free and clear of all liens. Now, the reason why I talked about this and this up front is because of this. Everybody that has a loan, right, that has a loan, that waive their escrows, right? Everybody that has a loan, they have a mortgage, and they did this, okay? And they haven't paid their taxes, and somehow, some way, it slipped through the cracks and it went here. Okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you. it's never going to get here. You might have gotten lucky to get here, maybe, but I doubt it. Because remember I talked about that monitoring fee, okay? And the bank has a lien to protect it. Here's what happens. When they find out, the bank who pays the servicing company to pay your taxes or to monitor your taxes, you waived your escrows, now they're monitoring, and you didn't pay it, okay, the bank is going to protect their lien position. What does that mean? Okay, if you have a loan from ABC Bank for $100,000, you waived your escrows, you put 20% down, but you haven't paid your taxes in 2 years. Well, they do a tax sale. Well, guess what happens? If it got to a judicial, their lien would get wiped away, gone, bye-bye. Okay? So the bank's not going to get paid. So they're going to protect their lien at all costs. So what are they going to do? Okay, here's what they're going to do. Even before it gets to the upset sale, the bank is going to pay your past due. The bank will pay it. Okay? Then, after they pay it, they're going to force you an escrow account. So even though you had the privilege of waiving your escrows up front by putting 20% down, you blew that by not paying your taxes for 2 years. So the bank is going to protect their lien so that the tax people don't jump into the first lien position and they get nothing. They're going to pay your taxes. Why? Because you paid a $79 tax service fee, which is going to monitor that you're paying your taxes. So now when you don't, they will pay it, and they're going to force you into an escrow account. So now, now every month you're going to start paying PITI now, and you're going to pay that past due. Now they're going to spread that payment out over a couple of years, but your payment's going up, and you're going to pay your escrows, and the bank's going to pay because they're going to protect their lien at all costs. So now, how many houses do you think you're going to be able to buy now at a judicial sale? Because you just wiped out all of these people. Okay? So the only people that are left are the free and clear. That's it. Why? Because I told you, the bank put a lien on their property. They're not going to lose it on a tax foreclosure sale. They're protecting their lien. Okay? So, there's very slim pickings now that are left over. Here's the other thing. If you do buy a property at the sale, the owner, these guys right here, right? These guys right here, the owner, they have 9-month redemption period where they can come back and pay you back the money plus 10%. Okay? So yes, can you make money buying a house at a tax sale? Oh, okay, you can. But do you want to go buy a property, wait 10 months before you can sell it or do anything, all for 10% interest? Listen, you could go buy other investment properties because you need money to do this stuff. This ain't free. This is no money. This isn't no money down. Plus, you're buying this as is. As is. And you're responsible for all the closing costs and everything else. So you want to wait a year before you can make 10%? Okay, fine, good luck, go ahead. Remember this, you're up against sharks. You're up against big companies that do this shit for a living, okay? And here you are working 9 to 5 every day, right, with a job that you can't even go search title and appraisal. Maybe you can. You got about 3 hours a week that you can go do this stuff, and you think you're going to compete with those people? Good luck, right? Good luck. Does that make sense to you? Okay, now, I haven't been in this game in a little while, the tax sale game, okay? I remember that they were talking about if, and don't quote me on this, I got to look it up, and I didn't look it up before class. I apologize. If anybody wants to look it up and put it in there, let me know. If somebody files a bankruptcy, that gives them 5 years to pay you back. Right? 5 years. That's what was floating around. I don't know if that ever became law, but I know that that's kind of what it was, the 5 years. Now, also, if it's vacant, I think that there's no 9-month redemption. There's no redemption period. It's just yours. But they have to they got to prove it's vacant, all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. That would turn into a nightmare. So, if I was you, I would look up these two laws in the state of Pennsylvania, look up the bankruptcy law, and look up the vacancy law, right? Now, the last sale in the state of Pennsylvania, the last sale is this, a repository sale. Okay? Repository sale. Now, what's that sale? Well, this is a sale for when it doesn't sell here and it doesn't sell here, they're going to try and sell it here. Now, just imagine what kind of dump you're going to get at a repository sale. You're going to get a shell in North Philly. You could buy a whole damn block if you want. You could buy 10 blocks at a repository sale if you want. Go ahead. Right? And that sale, I think they can sell it for anything they want. I don't think it has to be for the tax amount that's due, because you're probably talking years of back taxes, right? So it's already going through the upsell, going through the judicial, it's down at the repository sale, right? So there you go, okay? This is what tax sales are in the state of Pennsylvania, okay? I'm going to grab a chair and sit down for a minute, all right? So bear with me, my back's hurting. Just bear with me for a second, everybody. I'm going to get a chair and come over and sit down. So just bear with me. I apologize. I got to bring the chair over, right? So again, when you got to understand, these gurus that are out there that are coming into town and selling you the false promises of riches in a tax sale, you got to remember this. They're selling you a program. If they were making so much damn money buying tax properties at tax sales, why are they selling you a program for 5, 10, 2, whatever pick a number? Why are they selling it to you? Do my program. I can make you rich. Listen to me. Listen to me good. Okay? If these people had so much money, these gurus, they wouldn't be gurus. Okay? They wouldn't be gurus. Everybody knows my story, my situation, right? I wouldn't be a teacher if this stuff didn't happen to me, but I am, and I like it. I'm in my redemption period. I like it. I'm helping people, right? I'm saving people a lot of money by not falling for this stuff that these gurus sell, right? It's just terrible what they're doing. It's terrible. All right, let me see if I have any other notes that I can share with you that I wrote down. All right, I don't think I do. This is basically, really, this is how simple really tax sales are in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, this is really what they are. Okay, they're not difficult. These are not difficult deals to do. Okay, what's difficult is the research, right? Again, how much time do you have to go research these properties, right? They're easy to find, right? They're posted all the time at the courthouses. You could go look them up. Hey, what's for sale? What's for sale, right? So, easy to find. That's the easy part. The research is the hard part, right? hard part. And trust me, everybody makes it sound so easy, right? The gurus, because again, they're trying to sell you something, right? I'm not selling you anything. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to give you step by step. This is what happens here, right? I'm not trying to sell you a program. I'm trying to teach you something, okay? This is how tax sales work in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, I do know that in other states, there are auctions. It's a reverse auction, right? Where, you get a tax claim and they the people got to pay you back and you can make interest on that. That's fine. But, how much time do you have to go to New Jersey or Delaware or wherever you're going to go invest in tax liens, right? Everybody, you have to remember this. You have limitations on what you can and can't do. You have strengths and you have weaknesses, okay? And you need to find what those strengths and weaknesses are, okay? Now, some of your strengths might be, well, I'm good at research. Okay, well, if you're good at research, you might be good at doing this and finding this stuff out. But the next question is, do you have money to do this, right? Because this is not like no money down stuff. You got to understand, you're playing in a body of water that sharks live in. Okay, like there is companies out there that do this for a living. They have full-time appraisals, full-time title companies, right? They got people driving the property. They're researching the living hell out of this, and even then, they get it wrong sometimes. Okay, it's not as easy as going to pay. Oh my God, this is what drives me nuts, right? Do you honestly think that you could just go pay somebody $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to go learn tax sales, and then all of a sudden you're going to be able to go do them, right? I'm not saying you can't. What I'm saying is this. This is what I want you to look at, right? This is easy stuff. I'm going to tell you what you need to do, okay? If you want to do this, what are some of the things you need to do? Okay, here you go. Number one, become good at pulling title. What does that mean? That means you have to be very good at researching the property. Let me write this down. Researching the property. To finding all liens. Okay? That's number one. You got to get good at you don't have to get good. You got to get great at that. Well, Vinny, I could get it at a judicial sale. Well, good luck. I just told you, right? At a judicial sale, what houses are you going to get? Okay, you're going to get the free and clear houses. All right. What kind of shape do you think these houses are in, right? How many of good houses do you really think are going to go up to a judicial sale? I just told you, anybody who has a loan on their house is never getting there. It's never even going to get to an upset sale. It might if you get lucky, but guess what's going to happen? The bank has 9 months to redeem it. They're going to redeem it in 2 days. So how much money are you really going to make on it, right? Because they're going to redeem it right away. Because they have 9 months to redeem it, okay? And most of the time, it's not going to slip through the cracks, okay, to get to an upset sale, let alone a judicial sale. So the people that are losing their house to tax sales are the people that, yes, they don't have any liens on it, but how good are those properties? And then when you have a property that's owned free and clear, and the only thing that's owed on it is back taxes, do you honestly think you're just going to buy it for what's past due? Are you kidding me? How many people do you think are there at the auction buying these things? Just you? You're the only one that shows up? Oh my God, there's $1 million house. They only owe 10 grand in taxes. I got it. Yeah, okay. What friggin' fantasy land do you think you live in? Do you think that happens? I just told you there are companies out there that do this for a living. You're going to have to bid against these guys and gals. It's not just men. So how do you think you're going to win against them? They probably got deeper pockets than you. No, I don't know that for sure. Maybe you got deep pockets. But you better be willing to fight for it. Okay, so what's next after that? Okay, well, if you're very good at research and pulling title, researching the property, finding out all the liens that are against it, what's next that you better be good at? Okay, next, you better be good at finding fair market value. What do I mean by that? Okay, this is what I mean by that. This is what I mean by that. You went out. Can you even see that? I guess you guys can. Can you guys see that stuff? That fair market value there? Nope, can't even see that. That's horrible. Let me rewrite that. My apologies. It's terrible. I don't know why some of this doesn't come out that good. Okay, number 2. You better be good at finding fair market values. What does that mean? Okay. Well, you did a good job and you found out how much they owe on all their liens, right? They got this lien, they got that lien, right? They only got the tax liens, whatever, right? Okay. You found that out. Good shape. Now what? Okay. What's the house worth? Because trust me, you're not buying it for just the taxes that are on the property. Although the gurus on your tax class are going to sell it that way, you can get this for only $10,000 and it's worth $2 million because they didn't pay their taxes. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure I can. Good luck. Again, you're not the only one who's going to be there. So, find fair market values. How do you do that? Okay. You run comps. If you don't hire that, get a realtor. Or even better, get an appraiser. Right? Get a good realtor and a good appraiser who can find comps. What are comps? They're comparables. I want to compare this house with the other houses that sold. Why? Because what are you going to do with the house after you buy it? All right, well, you might live in it. That's true. You might live in it for yourself and your family. All right, that's fine. But still, don't you want to know what the value of the house is? Don't you want to know if you're getting a deal or not? Sure you do. Okay. All right, well, what's next? What's the next one? After you found out this and you found out that. All right. You better do this. What's my budget? Right? Because remember, redemption period. They can come back and buy it. So how much can you put out of your pocket without needing it right back? Is a hard money lender going to lend you this money? What happens, right, if he lends it to you at 10%, but you're only getting 10%? You make nothing. You're actually going to lose money. Why? Because you got costs and everything else, right? The hard money lender ain't going to do it for free. You're going to pay him points or her points, somebody points, right? So how much time in your life are you going to be able to spend researching properties and finding out all their liens, right? How much time do you think you're going to have doing that? I don't know. Okay. How much time do you have dedicated that you can find fair market values? And that just means the value of the house as is. Now, also, how much time, I didn't put this in here, but I'll put it in here now, right? Researching the property itself. Meaning, eyes on inspection. eyes on inspection. Why do I got to do that? What do you mean, why do you got to do that? You got to do it because you don't know what you're buying. It could be a dump. It could be vacant. It could be a shell. It could be the worst house on the block. It could be a nightmare. It could have mold. So you cannot go there and just think you're going to make money because these gurus tell you you can. These guys are the worst of the worst, right? I'm not telling you that you can't make money. Not telling you that. Not telling you that you cannot make money. I'm just telling you what it's going to take to make money. Okay? And there's not as many deals as you think. There's always deals out there. But you're competing against people and companies that do this for a living, that've been in it for years and years and years, and they got deep pockets. And that's what you're competing against, right? That's what you are competing against. And I want you to win and I want you to succeed, right? Just know the game. Know that if you get into this game, you better be damn good at getting title reports. And really, like I told you, that one kid called me up. He was sharp as hell, right? We had a good time chatting. We talked a lot about, tax sales and things like that. And I said, why in the world would you ever buy a property at an upset sale? And he goes, dude, I thought I did my homework. I really honestly thought I did my homework. I had a good title company. They just missed the lien. They just missed it. And now he's screwed, right? Trust me, you don't, man. That's what I'm telling you. Even the best of things, right? Even the best of times, title companies are going to miss things. So you better be good at that. Then you've got to be good at finding the fair market value. Because if you're going to buy something at the upset sale, you got to know all the liens against it, every one, right? And then put a contingency in it for just in case something pops up, lien, okay? Say, okay, well, if I can sell it for X, so let's do it, right? So if we're over here, right? Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3. I got my first lien at 100,000, right? I got a second at 33,000, right? And then I got other liens at 10,000, mechanics liens, right? Whatever. So I got $143,000, right? Plus cost, okay? So let's say I'm up to 150. This has got to be the money I need. I'm buying it as is, but it's got a fair market value of 200,000. Okay? You might be able to make money there, right? But did you go and research the property? Did you drive it? Or did you just pull comps? Did you go look in the window? Is it vacant? Right? I don't know. This is all the stuff you got to be able to do. And do you have the time to do it? Are you unemployed? Are you not working? Or are you working and then you got to try and do this with all your other stuff? Right? Listen, if it was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Right? Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear that cliche? If it was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Okay? It's not as easy as what you make it out to be. It's not hard, but there's a lot of work that needs to go into this. And then, on top of the work, you got to get a little bit lucky too, right? You got to hope some good properties fall through the cracks for you, right? Unless you want to buy the shells and the dumps, you can buy as many of them as you want, right? I mean, I got a good, I'm not going to say it here on this thing, but if anybody ever wanted to do that, I can tell you exactly what to do after the fact, and you can make a killing, right? But I don't know many people that want to buy shells, right, and put some money into it. I don't know. But this is what tax sales in the state of Pennsylvania is all about. And I see the videos on YouTube. Seats are going fast. For what? To learn this? Come on. Now, what if you buy the property and somebody redeems it? Okay, well that's the next step, right? So they have a 9-month redemption period, which means at any time during that 9 months, the buyer, so I keep saying the buyer, right? It's not the buyer, it's the person who lost the house, okay? The owner.
the owner has a 9-month redemption period where they can come back and redeem the property. So it means that they can come in, they can pay you back the money that you spent, and they got to give you 10% on top of it. Okay? It used to be 10%. I don't know if it's changed. If anybody wants to look that up and put it down in the chat, that, hey, it might be 9% or it might be 15%. But at the time, it used to be 10% that you would get paid. Okay, well, you're making 10%. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, right? But you got to wait your 9-month redemption period. Now, what happens if they file a bankruptcy? Well, back in the day, they were talking about bankruptcies. They can delay that for 5 years. They have 5 years to pay that back, right? So, and most people, by the way, most people that own it free and clear, this is the other thing I want to tell you, right, that I didn't tell you yet. Most people that own it free and clear, okay, and it's their main house, and they know that it's going to a tax sale, trust me when I tell you this, they're just going to hire an attorney and file bankruptcy and stop that, because that's going to stop it. You could actually file the bankruptcy the morning of, as long as you do it before 10 o'clock, okay? That's going to stop the sale, okay? So now just imagine just imagine this. You found one house that you love because it's in your neighborhood. You drove it, you went down to the courthouse and you pulled title, and you know all the liens that are against it, none, right? And it's not that much money to buy it, right, for the past due taxes. And you go there, right, and you're ready to you did all this homework, and you're ready to buy that house, right? And then what happens? You get notice it's off the market. Why? Because they filed bankruptcy. Right? Because that happens all the time. All the time. Listen, go down. The best thing to do, if you really want to get into these things, I'm going to tell you the best thing to do. Go to the sale and sit there as a spectator. Just sit there. But first, do your research up front. See what houses are going to be there. It's right on the websites. Okay, every website has an upset sale date and the properties that are going to be up for auction. Okay? Then go with that list and see how many properties actually make it to the auction. Okay? See how many properties got pulled because they filed a bankruptcy or the banks paid it. Okay? See how many properties actually made it to the auction. Okay? Now, that'll be the upset auction, which I told you is the second Monday of, September, I think. Okay? So you can go to that auction. Then, once you go to that auction, find out when the judicial sale is. Okay? Go to the judicial sale and see how many of those properties made it through. Okay? This could be your actual homework of what you're doing if you want to get involved in this. Very simple. Go to the auctions and see what it's like. See if you like it, right? It's fast-paced, right? They sell houses quickly, right? It's cool. It's kind of cool, right? So go there, see if you like it. See if you like it. And do your research. Now, I'm not telling you that you got to go through all of this stuff first, right? Doing the fair market values and pulling title and all that. You don't have to do that. Just do this. Just go onto the websites and see how many properties are up for sale at the upset sale, right? Keep a list of them, print them out, and say, okay, this is how many properties that they have listed, all right? Then go to the sale and see how many of those properties actually sell on that date, okay? See how many actually sell on that date. Then go to the judicial sale and see how many sell at that date, okay? And then you'll get a feel for this and you'll see how this stuff works, okay? But that's it on tax sales, okay? If anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer anything that's out there, okay? But that's what we have on tax sales. It's not hard, okay? It takes a lot of research and it takes some gall to be able to pull the trigger and buy one of those things, okay? But I wish everybody luck. And if anybody ever needs a helping hand doing that, I wish you all the luck in the world, okay? If anybody ever has any questions and you need me to answer them, I will certainly do that as well. If anybody wants to know more about the Golden Triangle Academy and my teaching, I'm going to give you how you can get a hold of me, right? So if you want to come and join the academy, all you need to do is text the word Golden to the number 21,000. It's my digital business card. It's got my cell phone number and everything else like that. Right? You can become a student. It's only $59 a month. I got class every Monday night unless the Phillies are playing or the Eagles are playing. Then we change it to Tuesday night. Right? If something's personally happened, we might change it to Wednesday night. But we have class every Monday night. And again, you're going to on the website. You'll have step-by-step instructions on all this stuff. Right? Video instructions. You have contracts. You have anything that you need to do a loan. I have access to it, and you have it too. Okay? If you want to become a private student, this is where I basically become your partner, okay? I'm right by you, side by side. Just call me. You're going to get my number when you text here, and we'll talk about it, okay? So anything that you need in the real estate investing game, I've been there and I've done it. And I'm not telling you to hire me as a private student. I'm telling you to interview me. Ask me any questions that you want. Ask away. Ask me a million questions. Because I'd rather you interview me and I pass your interview, or if you don't think I'm a right fit for you, don't join, right? But I'm telling you, you're not going to find any better information anywhere for $59 a month. As a private student, you're not going to get any better teacher than me. I guarantee that. I'll put my resume up against anybody. I'll put my skills up against anybody, guaranteed. I've done more stuff than any of these gurus out there alive. All right, so that's about it for the tax class, okay? Again, this is only for the state of Pennsylvania, only for the state of PA, okay? That's how it works. You will lose your house, but you've got a redemption period. You have an upset sale, you've got a judicial sale, and you've got a repository sale at the end, okay? And if you want to do them, first go and take a look at it, see how it all works. Then become very good at pulling title, finding fair market values, and researching the properties. Find a property that you like, and hopefully you can get it. All right? So I don't see any questions, so I'm going to wrap it up with that. I know it was a short class. It was only an hour long, but, you know, there's not much more I can talk about with the taxes. I'm just telling you, it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty simple. All right? So everybody have a wonderful night. Appreciate it. For my regular class, I think I'm going to have another class in 30 minutes, so we'll take a break with this class. And I'm going to start another class for my regular students, and we're going to talk about structuring some deals and looking at some properties. So for my regular students, class in 30 minutes. And for everybody else, thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.